His job on fight night was to fold up the chairs and put them away after the crowd went away. And he waited, and he certainly worked with Gaetan Lefebvre, the former trainer of the Montreal Canadiens, to rebuild his health. And this is a very special night for him to fight in front of 15,000 people here at the Molson Center, a hometown crowd, and finally get a chance to show what he is made of.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you see Bergeron and he's fighting on a world title card tonight. You don't see that very often, so it's a great boost for him. You know, having great guys at Interbox, great fighters who have made their way up the ladder, like Luca and Willette was there, and Hilton was there, and those guys are fighting the main events, and he's fighting like a co-main event right now, so he's moving up there as well.
You know, the city has such a long tradition and history in boxing from the days of Donato Paduano, and it goes through with those great fights with Earl Grey?
Clyde Gray.
Clyde Gray, sorry. Clyde Gray in the 70s. But you never really had a heavyweight here who could distinguish himself over the last 15 or 20 years. And now we have two. We have Levert, whom we saw earlier tonight, and we also have Bergeron, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that's what I mean. You get these guys, you build up their records, you get them fighting some good guys. Could you imagine one day if, when they're 15, 20 and 0 and they fight in this ring against each other? I mean, there's not enough seats in this place. But Bergeron he's a southpaw. That doesn't hurt. He's 6'5". He does everything right. I mean, he can go a long, long way.
You know what's interesting is tonight we get to see what kind of chin he has, because his opponent, so you talk about a guy with some punching power. Tonight he goes up against Jean-Francois Bergeron, whom also has some great punching power, because Bergeron's fought 11 fights, and of those 11 fights, 8 have ended by knockout. So it's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be early. We're going to have to wait to see what the fight plan and how it develops for each of the fighters. But I expect a lot of punching, and certainly a very different fight, or a heavyweight fight, than we saw the first time around 2 fights ago.
Oh, definitely. You know, Bergeron's got all the experience. He's turned pro just after 96, yet he only has 11 matches. He was actually scheduled to fight Tom the Bomb Gillespie, but
Right.
yeah, something happened in the cards. It didn't end up happening. So this guy's in to take his place, Page, and we'll see. He has 5 knockouts for 10 fights. So we'll have to be. He'll have to be very cautious in the first round. Make sure Page doesn't come in. Because he was a late comer, and he's going to come in and try and knock him out probably the first round, because we don't know how good shape this Page is going to be in, because he's just a fill-in right now the last couple days.
That can be dangerous. You prepare for one opponent, the last minute you have another one, and you have to be very careful. I mean, that can be really dangerous. Yeah, and as Mike said, you got to adjust as the fight progresses, because you don't always know what this guy brings to the dance.
People talk about the difference between amateur boxing and professional boxing. There are many, and we can go on for a long period of time here, but I think film is one of them.
Definitely.
You don't see that in amateur fighting. You just go to the tournament and try to see as many fights.
You're boxing the national champion of that country. Professional, you get to view a lot of films on their fighter, and I guarantee that Bergeron probably has not seen Page fight before, because he was scheduled to fight Tom the Bomb Gillespie. He came in prepared to fight Gillespie, and he has to change his whole style now.
It's almost like a misprint here if you look at it. 10 wins, 10 knockouts. But it's true. Kurt Douglas Page with 10 knockouts. So if you're JF's corner, you have to warn him about his punching power.
The only thing you compare for Kurt Douglas Page is maybe watch some of those old movies. I don't know.
Still to come, Dale Cowboy Brown and Rick the Gent Rufus. That's a cruiserweight fight. It gets underway at 9:55 tonight. And the final at 10:55, the national anthems, followed by Dingan, the Rose of Soweto Tobella, against Eric Luca. Luca from Saint-Julie, Quebec. A record of 33-4, and switched from a 10-rounder to an 8-rounder.
Yeah, that's a big change too, and Bergeron, I make a big point that Bergeron wins this fight. He's supposedly guaranteed a Canadian title shot against Razor Ruddock, who won the Canadian title against Edgar DeMarcus just a month ago. So, he has to get by Page first, but I know he's looking forward to bringing a Canadian title back to Montreal.
Well, this is how much talent Bergeron. I remember before he turned pro, the national team was hoping that he'd sort of hang around. They had their eye that he could possibly win a medal at the Sydney Olympics if he had decided to hang on, Mike.
Yeah, that's right.
36-year-old Curtis Page enters the ring.
Aldina, you dropped the Douglas. got to keep that Kurt Douglas thing in there.
If he wins it, he gets his name back. How's
Okay,
that? All right. Certainly not a fancy wardrobe for Mr. Page, but successful nevertheless, and it looks like he means business.
Looks like he could be Sutcliffe's brother.
Wow.
Et maintenant, dans la zone énergie, on accueille tous ensemble Jean-Francois Bergeron.
Very humble guy. And he always gives the impression he means business. How difficult is it finding sparring partners for the heavyweights, Michael?
It's really difficult, especially in Canada. We don't have a lot of heavyweights. I know Jeff's been very fortunate because he sparred with Dale Brown for this match. And Dale's a world-class cruiserweight, so for sure he gave Jeff everything he wanted. But it is very tough. You know, they had to fly down to the States, a lot of the heavyweights, to get some sparring. There's not a lot of big guys in Canada. You know, all the heavyweights that we have usually go away, and you know, Lennox Lewis is a perfect example, going to England.
And what's even more difficult for the opponent, person who goes up against JF, you got to find a heavyweight and you got to find a southpaw. So that makes it a double whammy for the opponent. But here, right over the ropes. Okay.
All southpaw at that.
Wow.
He can bring so many things to the table.
Chris Gauthier is ready inside the ring as we will get the formal introductions from the ring announcer, followed by round 1 of 8 here between Jean-Francois Bergeron in the red corner.
Mesdames et messieurs, ce 5e combat professionnel de la soirée prévu pour 8 rounds dans la catégorie des poids lourds. This 5th professional bout of the evening consists of 8 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Les juges pour ce combat, the judges scoring this bout at ringside, Monsieur Richard Le Carifel, Monsieur Jean Lapointe, and Mr. Jack Woodburn. L'arbitre du combat, the referee for this bout, Monsieur Yves Lavigne. D'abord dans le coin bleu de West Palm Beach en Floride, portant la culotte rouge et pesant 225,2 livres. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner from West Palm Beach, Florida, wearing red trunks and weighing in at 225.2 pounds. Avec une fiche professionnelle de 10 victoires, 10 par KO en 15 combats. His professional record reads 10 wins, all by knockout in 15 bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kurt Page. Et dans le coin rouge de Saint-Jérôme, portant la culotte rouge et bleue et pesant 217,6 livres. Fighting out of the red corner from Saint-Jérôme, wearing red trunks with blue trim and weighing in at 217.6 pounds. Il est invaincu en 11 combats, 11 victoires, 8 par KO. His record, undefeated in 11 professional bouts, 11 wins, 8 by knockout. Mesdames, Messieurs, l'aspirant numéro 4 au Canada et membre de l'équipe olympique canadienne de 1996 à Atlanta. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the currently ranked number 4 in Canada and a member of the Canadian team at the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia, Jean-Francois Bergeron.
Dressing room earlier. Tu as eu tes instructions avant dans ta chambre. Tu dois go back to your corner.
Well, that was sweet and short, effective. Local referee Yves Lavigne, as you see the tail of the tape. Page a little heavier than Bergeron, who's a little taller. The age is a factor there. 36 for Page, 28 for Bergeron.
Page has something on his back. I couldn't really make out what it was.
You know what? I don't think it's advertising.
I think it says.
What did it say? Adopt.
Adopt.
Oh, okay.
Maybe adopt his back for some advertisement.
Maybe he wants a mummy.
Well, he's advertised as from Rochester, New York, but now I guess fights out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Blame him.
West Palm Beach, not exactly a fight mecca.
Again, they're both wearing the red trunks, so you can see the Bergeron splashed across JF's trunks. So he's Jean-Francois Bergeron.
JF's got to establish his jab a bit more. He's not throwing many punches right now. I'm sure that's because he's pretty cautious. He doesn't even know what this Page has. You know, you look at his record. He's got 10 wins, 5 losses, but he's got 10 KOs as well. So you don't want to get caught with any big punches, especially in the first round.
This guy can obviously punch.
Oh, nice left cross.
And he's cut. He's cut.
After the left cross, he got cut.
It was a left cross that cut Page, and another good left hand by Bergeron.
Yeah, the first left cross cut him, and it didn't even look like a really hard punch, but...
and it's not in a good location.
No,
look at that.
Not.
Oh, my.
Well, Mike, sometimes those slashing punches do more damage as far as cuts concerned.
I think the fight doctor is going to be called in here at the end of the first round just to take a close look at this cut, because it's in a terrible location. It's right underneath the left eyebrow of Page.
Yeah, and that blood flows right into your eye, and it's really tough to see.
Especially against a southpaw.
That changes your fight strategy immediately if you're Page. Hang in for the first round, regroup, and you see him wincing.
Page can't even see right now.
Oh, my.
Yeah, the referee's going to have somebody look at it.
Oh, it's really bleeding.
It's terrible. I don't think this fight is going to continue. We're just going to have to wait and see. The fight doctor will take a look here. First, they'll wipe it off. Then they'll take a good look, and he says continue. Huh. For how long? This is where your corner comes into play, though, in the middle of the round, in between rounds.
Look how sneaky quick that left hand is. Mike, it seems like
really
he's having a trouble adjusting to the southpaw style.
Oh, well, especially when you get that blood in your eye. You can't even see his punches coming. Bergeron's got those quick punches.
He's pretty much doing everything he wants to do in this first round. He in turn is splattered with blood, but it is the blood from Page. Bergeron even connected with a right hand there. Two, one, and that's it.
Oh, it's the end.
Well, we're going to focus in on the corner of Page to see what they do to end the bleeding or stop the bleeding, as that cut is terribly placed over the left eye and under the eyebrow. There's Bergeron. Last fight September 28th. Take a look here. There was a slashing left hook that opened the cut. Let's go to Guy Jutra. Guy, that's a terribly placed cut, isn't it?
Yeah, Dino, it took Bergeron about a half a round to really figure out what he was going to do. But once he did get started, it was a walk in the park for him. It was all one side. And as a matter of fact, I had no hesitation to give it a 10-8. And to me, I think that this Bergeron, I've been saying that for a long time. He might be just a big surprise here in Montreal.
Nice left cross.
There we go.
Left.
Page was cut in the first round, and he's down here early in round 2. And is he going to get up? 8, 9, he's up, but he's wobbly. This may not go much longer. They're going to allow it to continue. Bergeron misses with a wild left, connects with a right, and awkward style right here by Page.
Almost out on his feet.
And Bergeron is just pounding away right now. And Page is completely off balance. He's lost his mouthpiece. And finally, Levine steps in, and another win by Jean-Francois Bergeron.
He timed that left so perfectly, Mike.
Oh, he did. He didn't waste very many punches in that round.
Well, I thought the cut was going to come into play. Not at all. The knockout came into play as one of you made a good point here, or a very, really good point. It was almost as if Page was walking, but he was out of it. He was very dazed. He didn't go down a second time, but I'm wondering if he knew exactly where he was. Look at that uppercut.
That's just hard keeping him on his feet there.
He was in trouble, but he really didn't know how to cover up at that moment.
But give him credit. These guys, he could have easily went down, but these guys are trained to survive.
Page tells his corner he's okay, and certainly Jean-Francois Bergeron is okay. 12-0, 9 knockouts. Sets up an interesting battle somewhere down the road between Patrice Lheureux and Jean-Francois Bergeron. I'm not sure that Innerbox wants to put 2 undefeated fighters in the ring at the same time now, but eventually down the road they're on a collision course.
I'm sure JF's going to be looking for that Canadian title shot as well.
Arrêt de l'arbitre à 50 secondes du deuxième round. Referee Yves Lavigne stops this bout at 50 seconds of the second round for the winner by TKO, Jean-Francois Bergeron.
There is a swing fight a little later on tonight. Sasha Wilner against Leo Rojas. We'll just have to wait and see when they decide to bring those two.